All right. Mutually exclusive means that two events can't happen at the same time. Can anybody think of two things that can't possibly happen at the same time? Yeah?
It can't be 80 degrees and there be snow.
I think there can.
Okay.
It's especially in Minnesota. In Minnesota, we are very capable of having like 3 feet of snow, and the next day it's like turns out to be 80 degrees. It's gonna melt pretty fast.
Yeah.
How about it can't be 80 degrees and snow falling from the sky?
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. Clear sky and lightning. Yes, exactly. That's two events that are mutually exclusive. Can't happen at the same time. I like the snow and 80 degrees example, as long as we're talking about snow coming down, not snow on the ground. Two things are independent if they don't affect each other. So, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to be very obnoxious in how I do my notes, and I apologize, Grace, but I'm using you as an example. Okay, so if it was 80 degrees out, and there's snow on the ground, usually these happen at different times, right? But there's an occasional weird day in Minnesota where it is 80 degrees outside and we still have some snow on the ground. It's a Venn diagram where they just overlap just a little bit, right? This area here where they overlap, if I was going to do it right, should be like a smidge, just a tiny little overlap, like two circles doing this, where they're just barely overlapping at the edge, but it's easier to see if I make it obvious. However, snow from the sky or snow falling can't happen at the same time as 80 degrees. Those never happen. There's no overlap. This is mutually exclusive. So remember, mutually exclusive is not the same thing as independent. All right, so let's try this together. Are these events mutually exclusive? Rolling a 3 on a die, and on the same die, rolling a 4. Is it possible to do those both at the same point in time? Can you roll a 3 and a 4 at the same time on one die? No. So these are mutually exclusive. Notice that I'm not saying, like, this is what your homework's going to look like. So notice that I'm not saying, like, event A is mutually exclusive and event B isn't. It's kind of like, what's their relationship together? Like, I could say, here are two people. Are these two people dating? And you would say, yes, they're dating, or no, they're not dating. You wouldn't be like, well, she's dating him, but he's not dating her. Like, no, they're either dating or they're not. So there's not individual answers on these. All right, randomly selecting a male student and randomly selecting a nursing major. Could you pick one person who's a nursing major and a male student? Yes. So this is not mutually exclusive because you could have some overlap there. In fact, you definitely do. I know lots of men who are nurses. All right, I made it extra confusing on this note sheet because down here I wrote CDE, cross out that E, that was just a mistake, formatting mistake. Go ahead and try C and D with your partner, please. Decide if those are mutually exclusive or not mutually exclusive together. A jack is a face card. Jack has a face. Good question. A joker, by the way, isn't a face card. It's a separate thing. Because a face card is in every deck, and I know that it's weird because a joker does have a face, but sometimes you don't include a joker. And in the standard deck of 52, there isn't jokers, so. I've used it playing the game Spades and the game Euchre and what's the one 500. Okay, are we ready? So, you guys, are you willing to do C? Tell me about it. That's correct.
Because you could pick a blood donor, type O blood, but it could still be a female.
Right, it's not like if you have type O blood, you have to be a male. You could be a female. There are plenty of people, I'm sure, who do. Maybe somebody in this room. Anybody know their blood type in here? Has anybody ever donated blood in here? Do you know your blood type? So next time you go to donate blood, are you going to donate blood again?
Yeah.
Okay, so next time you go to donate blood, they have you on record now. So you can literally, actually, you might even be able to look up in their system right now what your blood type is, because they know it. Also, anytime you go to the doctor, if you've ever had a blood test for anything, in your charts, it says what your blood type is. So next time you go to the doctor, ask, because they already know. They can just pull it up and be like, oh, they're not going to like prick you and figure it out. If they've ever done a blood test, they know. And that's a good thing to know if there's like an emergency. You've never had your blood taken for anything?
I've had my blood taken once, and that was for military stuff. It wasn't at the doctor.
Well, and the military stuff knows. Like if you ask the military person who was, what is that word? Not instructor, the person, what did you just say? Do you say instructor?
No, I think it's just a
What's the person who signs you up for the military? They're your recruiter. The recruiter will have your data and will know that you are a certain blood type. But again,
It's true.
and while that would be very helpful if you were injured in the military and their systems were running, that'd be really helpful. But sometimes you get hurt and you don't have a phone on you or a computer or somebody can't figure it out. It's a good thing to know. All right, randomly select a jack from a standard deck and randomly select a face card, mutually exclusive, not a mutually exclusive. What do you think, guys? In fact,